Good morning. Hello, everyone. My bad. I said 9:15, and then it's like I'm 5 minutes late outside of that. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Come on in as you're coming in. Um, and we're gonna get started with day 8, which is my absolute favorite day. Day 8 is my favorite day. Um, Looking at the StreamYard reflection of my glasses. All right, good morning, y'all. If you don't know who I am, welcome. My name is Debbie Maisha. Good morning. I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a master life coach, sacred sexuality teacher, and my work is I always forget the word that I'd like to use here. It just depends on the day. But my work centers around reconnecting Black women to their freedom, their power, and their sovereignty through their sensuality and their pleasure. And we have been working through the abundance, the 40-day prosperity plan, the abundance book, John Randolph Price. Folks have been talking about like the Facebook group gives me life. I look at it usually once or twice a day, and I get in there to respond. And the Facebook group really just, you all excite me and light me up. The things that are happening in your lives. Down to one of our participants who's watching right now. She won an intuitive box from a metaphysical teacher, from a spiritual teacher. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh my gosh. Abundance abounds, like congratulations. um so I'm excited for everyone who is reframing how they see abundance in their lives. So welcome and come on in. Today is day 8. It is my favorite day. My the eighth statement is my favorite statement. It is the statement that gives me the most hope. It is the statement that reminds me of why I do what I do and to keep going. So without further ado, statement 8. My consciousness of the spirit within me as my unlimited source is the divine power to restore the years the locusts have eaten, to make all things new, to lift me up to the high road of abundant prosperity. This awareness, understanding, and knowledge of spirit appears as every visible form and experience that I could possibly desire. I'm gonna read this one again. And this one always gets me a little emotional too, but I'm gonna read it again. My consciousness of the spirit within me as my unlimited source is the divine power to restore the years the locusts have eaten, to make all things new, to lift me up to the high road of abundant prosperity. This awareness, understanding, and knowledge of spirit appears as every visible form and experience that I could possibly desire. Now, one thing, Terry, I was just about to say, reading statement 8 on a Thursday. I was, listen, so Thursday, you see my candle burning out right there. Thursday is Jupiter's day. Thursday is the day of wealth and abundance. We started on a Thursday, right? We've been at this for a week now, y'all. Give yourselves a pat on the back. We've been at this a week already. For us to be reading statement 8, talking about this, 2024 it also equals an 8, an 8 year. 8 is a number of wealth and abundance. And here we are reading statement 8. And so I was going to talk about money shame today, but I think we're going to save that today. As I was writing out the statement today, and look, because I'm going live across social media, some of you all don't know me very well, especially over on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn's real, like, it still is like a bastion of respectability. So I have to say that in order for you to get to know me fully, I need to show up as fully me. So you understand who I am when I say that I am about the sensuality and pleasure of Black women. Because that being said, When I read this, I felt it in my clitoris. This is how I feel the things. This is how I know the things. This is how my intuition speaks to me. It'll go up and down my spine. That's how I feel it in my body. I'll get like a tingling electrical sensation up and down my spine, or I will feel it right in my clitoris, like electrical impulses. And this is when I'm like, this is a whole ass yes. It's a whole ass yes. Whatever's about to happen, whatever decision I'm about to make, that is how I know. Now, I don't know how you know, but that is how I know because I can feel it in my body. And so when I wrote this statement out this morning, it made me so giddy. Like I could feel the tingles coming up from my womb space, like just the orgasmic flow, just like flowing through my body, because this is so exciting. Time has no meaning, is basically what this statement is saying. Some of us, and one of the things that stresses us about abundance in the form of money is thinking we have no time. We don't have enough time. We're trying to accumulate as many acorns as we can before our life expires, as though with that thinking, as though we'll ever get to the point where we would have accumulated enough acorns. When that's your perspective, you will never accumulate enough acorns. And now some of you are like, yeah, well, I know. Well, that's because you're at the point now where you think you don't have enough. And if only you had more, then. If only there was more, then, dot, dot, dot. When you shift your perspective on abundance and you know that it always is, it doesn't have to be a then, the then is now. Yes, I know you cannot buy your car right now that you'd like, but you can, as you see abundance, then become the creator in your life that creates a situation where there's the car and you didn't have to worry about it in this logical way of thinking. The universe came together and it knit, and then there was your car. And we will get towards the end. I'm going to talk a little bit about budgeting and some of the practical, logical things. Don't worry. Okay. I'm still going to keep you in the left side of the brain a little bit there. It's the left side. I'm losing myself right now. Right side. So time. I want to talk about time this morning because we feel the pressure of time on us. We feel compressed. And what statement 8 is saying is that your consciousness of the spirit within you as your unlimited source is the divine power to restore the years the locusts have eaten, to make all things new. Do you know what can shift for you in 365 days? 366 for 2024. Do you understand what can change for you that you can't even begin to fathom right now on December 28th, where your whole life can be December 28th of 2024? Time has no meaning. I was about to say in the multiverse for Marvel fans. Time has no meaning in the scheme of the universe. We created seconds, hours, minutes, days. The universe works in cycles. Cycles. The moon is doing this, the sun is doing that, the earth is doing this, the moon is doing this, the sun is doing that. The seasons are doing this. The seasons dictate what happens. There are seasons in life. There's a growth season. There's a pruning season. There's a time when it dies. There's a time when it comes back again. It moves in cycles, but it doesn't move by our watch. You can create a life that is so very different in a year. You can shift your body, your health in a year that is so different. We act the way we do because we feel like we are running out of time. And so we must do it all yesterday, right now. But when we do that, we're not living in the present moment. And when we do that, we're not in creation mode. And when we do that, we make decisions based on fear. I'm afraid I won't have enough. Let me do this. I'm afraid this won't happen. Let me do that. We're not moving in trust and faith. We're moving in fear. We're listening to the news. They're telling us all the things that are about to happen, all the doom and gloom that's going to go on. This is where everyone is going to be. Everyone's going to start losing money. The job's going to get cut. Oh my God, it's going to be, oh. First, I'll stop watching the news. That's just my personal. But what this statement is saying, if you believe it, because really it's up to you, is that your consciousness of this spirit within you, this rich, omnipresent substance of the universe that's individualized as you, that substance can restore the years that the locusts have eaten. This statement is important to me. So one of the first times I read this statement, I cried. I cried because we live in this society that so values youth. Like you're so important and so much can be done. Hey, Jay, good morning. So much can be done when you're young. In my 20s, I was confused, a mom, a wife, in poverty. I was stressed. I was living in fear. There was nothing that I was creating. I was creating babies. In my 30s, more of the same, but me trying to say there's got to be something different. In my 40s, okay, there's something different, but I don't really know what it is. And now I'm 50. If I were to go by what society is telling me, I'm kind of done for. By the way, I was doing a sexual harassment training for my job, and apparently one of the protected classes are people over 40. Over 40 is a protected class due to aging. I'm like, the fuck? Like, wow. Not even 50 or 60, over 40. Just throw it away. And so if I were to sit here and be like, well, it's done. I mean, if I live to 100, half my life is over. I'm just going to be on a decline after this. Why am I doing any of this for? The years are gone. The locusts ate them. All of my youth destroyed by trauma and fear. The hell? That's a big ass full stop no. That's a no. There's a song by Kelly Price that I love. I'll post the link to it in the Facebook group. And there's a line in it, in one of the parts of it, I was talking about it in my stories a couple of days. She says, I decided that I was going to be deep in love and happy. My best years are still in front of me. And basically, she goes on to say, it's my time, right? My best years are still in front of me. Damn it, this says that my consciousness of this rich, omnipresent substance of God, the creator source, as my unlimited source, that is the divine power to restore the years that the locusts ate. I could spend the next 10 years of my life living and it feeling like it's 30 years of my life. Do you understand that? The next 10 years of your life could feel like 30. It could be so abundant, so rich with experience and opportunity, so much vibrancy and vitality that it is like you just lived 30 years of your life in 10. that you get back what was lost in a different way. It's not over. If you're 60, it's not over. When I'm 70, I'm still gonna be like, I'm too young to go without that. There will never be I'm old coming out of this mouth. I'm older, I'm wiser, but I will never fucking be old. The hell is that? A typewriter is old. Ah, okay? So when you take out the stress of time, because that's what a lot of us are stuck in, time. I fall victim to it. I'm a human. And I have to pull myself back and remind myself because it's like I need to have everything prepared. What if something happens to me? My children need to have this, they need to have that, they need to have the other. And now I'm stressing and oh my gosh, and I see this is why I should have done this, and this is why I should have had that, and all the mistakes I made, and and now I'm stuck in the past, afraid of the future, and nowhere here in my present moment creating. Nowhere in my present. Stuck in the past, afraid of my future. Time is an illusion. You do have the time you need. You might not have the time you want, but you have the time you need to create the life you desire. You have to believe that. I beg of you, I implore you, please believe that. Because if you don't, you're spending your life racing against a clock that is eventually going to run out. And when you are, if you have the opportunity to, if you are blessed enough to be on a deathbed, if you are blessed enough to phase out with family and friends around you or something like that, the last thing on your mind in that moment is how much more you could have accumulated. At least so far, those who have been on their deathbeds, that is not the thing that they say that they wish they had spent more time doing, was accumulating more acorns. When you start to see abundance in all areas of your life, as many of you are doing, and your perspective starts to shift, time has a way of slowing down. Anyone who's anyone who's played with a small child knows this. Have you ever played with a small child? I did not like playing with my small children. It felt like time went on forever. It never ended. Whatever game we were playing, it felt like it lasted 3 hours. It's like, this is 20 minutes in. Children have a way of making time just suspend itself in the most beautiful way. But still, that's how you know time is an illusion. Have you ever spent time doing something and it felt like it was 25, 30 minutes and you looked and only 4 minutes had gone by? You have the time you need. When you are living in joy, when you are living in abundance, it's like time almost stands still. So let me read statement 8 again. My consciousness of the spirit within me as my unlimited source is the divine power to restore the years the locusts have eaten, to make all things new, to lift me up to the high road of abundant prosperity. This awareness, understanding, and knowledge of spirit appears in every visible form and experience that I could possibly desire. Everything that I could possibly desire. This awareness, understanding, and knowledge of spirit appears as every visible form, and experience that I could possibly desire. I have a mantra that I've been saying to myself. I ain't gonna say it here because it's mine, but I have a mantra that I've been saying to myself when it comes to men. And a word or mantras, they are important and they work, but there is a science to them and there's a way to do them that I think a lot of people don't understand. And so that's why just making up this statement and saying it doesn't work for a lot of people. There's a way to do it. Um, Coming soon in the membership group. Uh, I have this mantra that I say every morning at 8 o'clock. And yesterday, I had the most wonderful experience with a man. Met up. I got there early. He ended up showing up right behind me, he got my tea and my snack abundance, right? He I was, I showed up early. I was ready to kind of, we're just kind of meeting up. Nothing heavy, It wasn't we didn't call it anything. We're just meeting to chat. I've known him for a little while, but we never really met and chatted. So he got my food and we sat and we talked. I don't know. I didn't realize that we sat and talked for an hour and a half. An hour and a half. And it didn't feel like an hour and a half. It didn't feel long. It just felt it just flowed. There was an abundance of time. It felt like we were sitting there for in some ways like for hours just hanging out. An abundance of time. The gift of a drink and a little snack. It's possible. It's all very possible when you really start shifting your perspective. You get to create your reality. And I'm not talking about living in some weird um like I'm not talking about making up something outrageous, although that's on you. I don't know. I can't, speak to that. But you can create your reality. You can decide to see the glass half empty or half full. You can decide to see time as abundant or scarce. You can decide to see your money as abundant or scarce. You get to decide. What I will tell you is this. We discussed the reticular activating system yesterday. The more you see something, the more you'll see it in every place. That is just how your brain is going to work. Take all the woo out of it. The more you see lack in one area, the more you will see lack everywhere. The more you see lack everywhere, the more life starts to feel like a feast or famine, survival of the fittest. Gotta do me. I don't have it like that. I gotta take it. It's rough out there. The struggle is real. All of those things. You get to decide how you see your life. Tomorrow, I am going to talk about it's actually on my list, and it's tomorrow I'm going to talk about okay, so what do you do when you really don't have a lot of money in the bank? What do you do, like practically speaking? Because all that sounds great. This was me. This is me. This is me. This is me like 15 years ago. Okay, all that shit sounds great, but I fucking need money. Okay, I know you're telling me to look at it a certain way, but what am I doing today on Thursday at 9:45 to eat? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. And it's not a magic fix. But I've been there, literally. So I won't bypass that and make it seem like this is all just, let's just be spiritual about it. There's that part, but let's talk about the practicalities of the fact that some of us, even though we can look at this on our phone, are still needing to get some actual money in the bank. Okay. All right, let me read it one more time. Statement 8. My consciousness of the spirit within me as my unlimited source is the divine power to restore the years the locusts have eaten, to make all things new, to lift me up to the high road of abundant prosperity. This awareness, understanding, and knowledge of spirit appears as every visible form and experience that I could possibly desire. So you wrote the list, hopefully, about what you desire. You wrote your outrageous 5-year-old whatever list of what you desire, right? So I want you to go back and look at what you wrote. I want you to read through it. I want you to let it fill you up with all the, oh, yes. And now today, I want you to take time to really think about, okay, what would I like for 2024? Let's just start there. What do I desire for 2024? What do I desire in terms of an income, in terms of lovers? How do I want to connect with family, with friends? Do I want to go on vacation? Do I want to move? Just what do you desire? Goals are, you know, because I do like feminine embodiment work, sometimes for me, I need different words, right? So I like words like devotion versus dedication. I like desires over goals. You might like goals. Goals might make you feel excited. Goals make my clitoris shrivel up. That sounds very masculine to me, and it just doesn't work for me. So I like desires. So use whichever word works for you. But I want you to write out your desires slash, goals, if you will. What are your desires for 2024? Desires to me speak more to the heart and the soul. Goals speak to the ego. I think that's the difference. I had to really run that through my mind for like 10 seconds. Goals are egoic. I want you to live from soul space, from that connection to the divine. So there might be a goal of owning a home because that's what society tells you to do when you keep hearing everybody say that home ownership is key. But your desire is really to travel in an RV. Maybe those two don't match. Maybe you own a home and you rent it out. Maybe you don't live in the home. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I speak to desires. What are your desires for 2024? What are your desires for the next 12 months? Don't give them a timeline yet. Don't, well, in 6 months this and in 30 days that. I don't want you to do any of that. We're not there. Just what do you want for 2024? What would you love to see happen in 2024? Okay? That's it. All right. Thank you all for being here. I will be back here around 9-ish tomorrow for day 9. Pat yourselves in the back again for completing 1 week. We're almost through the first set of 10 statements. And then once we're finished the 10th statement, we come back all over again and start at statement 1. We go deeper each time. At least that's what I'm being told we're going to do. We're going to go deeper each time. I'm just the messenger. I'm just a conduit. I'm not really running this show. Spirit is. Okay. All right, you all. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you all tomorrow around 9-ish. Bye, everyone.